Hey guys, what's up people? Oh my goodness, this is always like my favorite part of live. Hi everyone, I'm Camille. My patients know me as Dr. Howard. I am the founder of Girl Hair. Hey guys, so welcome. Thank you for spending your Saturday afternoon with me. I think some of you guys are like West Coast, I am East Coast, so it's 3 p.m. my time, 12 p.m. your time. Thank you for joining. So, let me tell you, as a small business owner, especially of a Black woman-owned business and of a brand that basically targets other Black women, this is amazing because I love speaking to all of you and I love sharing our story, our brand story, and what our products are all about. Okay, so let me see here. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Hey, how are you? Thank you. I love like hearts and stuff like that. I put the Jamaican thing here on. All right. Awesome. So let's talk about Girl Hair. So I'm not sure if you guys have been introduced to our brand, but I always like to start all of these lives or meeting new friends off with just a little story about us and me and how we got started. So again, my name is Camille. I am a dermatologist here in New York City. My patients know me as Dr. Howard. And a few years ago, I had a problem, right? So as you can see now, I'm wearing box braids. And I am that girl who loves to wear protective styles. Like that's me, right? So in 1 minute, you may find that like I am wearing a sew-in weave. I could be wearing box braids. I could be wearing like faux locks. I could be wearing anything. And so back in 2007, I had like really bad hair breakage, like ridiculous hair breakage. And I did the big chop. Like, you know, most people back then, I feel like the natural hair movement was kind of like big back then, but I did the big chop. And by that time, I was growing out like a teeny weeny afro at the time. So I was really conscious about like what I was putting in my hair. So my hair was like about this long and I wanted to do another sew-in weave, but I wanted to like make sure all the ingredients that I was using in my shampoo and conditioner were like really, oh, thank you, Monica, were really great ingredients, right? So that was my issue at the time. So I literally would go to wherever, Walgreens, wherever, and try to find a shampoo and a conditioner to like wash my hair because I had that I had a sew-in weave, but it had a net like on top of it and my hair was kind of like braided in this round the world pattern. And so I wanted something to wash and condition my hair weekly and daily that would help me maintain the health of my hair. So like I literally would go to the store and I would look around and I would find shampoos with applicator tips. I would find conditioners with applicator tips. And what really bothered me the most is that like no one thought about how Black women would take care of their hair throughout the year, right? So like not everyone, but a lot of people would have different protective styles throughout the year, right? So some of my friends would have braids. Some of my friends would have, you know, sew-in weave. Some of my friends would wear wigs. And this isn't only like a 1 or 2 Black girl thing. This was like a bunch of Black girls. Like we would all have like different hairstyles throughout the year. And what I saw that was missing on the shelves of a lot of these retailers was basically like everyone thought about shampoo, everyone thought about conditioner. That wasn't the problem, but no one was really like addressing how we were taking care of our hair, like as far as how we shampooed, making sure the product got to the base of the scalp, making sure that if you're using an oil and you have a weave, like the oil is pretty thick and won't get on like, you know, a different texture hair, which if you have like a straight hair weave, you know, you don't want like the oil to get on the straight hair because your hair is curly and you need more emollients. So that was my issue at the time, and I didn't really understand like why no one was addressing that. Like why out of all the shampoos, all the conditioners on the aisle, like no one thought about it. So around that time, I was in marketing and I kind of understood the concept of having a beautiful product. So I developed Girl Hair Under Hair Care. And it basically, honestly, guys, is like a scalp care brand. So, one of the biggest things that I think that we often neglect when we have these protective styles in is like the health of our scalp, right? And it didn't really dawn on me until like later on after I got into medical school. So yeah, I made a switch from marketing and I went into medicine. And after I got into medical school, after I did my derm residency, like the importance of scalp health, especially when it comes to Black women. So I always like to pause because I can talk a lot and ask all of you, how many types of protective styles would you say that you have throughout the year? And anybody can answer this. Okay, someone just wrote, I'm so guilty of neglecting my scalp. So do you guys wear at least like braids throughout the year? Like, has anyone worn like box braids throughout the year? Give me a thumbs up if you have. So I have, so I'm going to put like my little thumb. You guys, my thing is like broken. Right? Has anyone worn anything else? So what about like wigs? I feel like wigs are like big. Oh, somebody's in knotless braids. That's actually pretty like big now. I have to get into knotless braids too because a lot of our customers say that they're much better because these were kind of tight. Wigs are huge now, right? Like the lace wigs, I'm not good at them. So I want to try it, but I'm not good at it yet. Right. So, someone always has like a low pony underneath their wigs. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so I feel like a lot of us wear protective styles throughout the year. And that was something that was really missing to me as a consumer in 2007 and 2008. So let's go through Girl Hair Under Hair Care. What is this brand? What is this blue bottle? What is this about? Why does it look so different than any other brand that I see in the aisle? Who is this girl? Like, who is Dr. Howard and why did she create this? So I'm going to go through the products because my hair is super dusty right now. Like my braids are like super, super fuzzy. And I'm going to show you guys how I kind of like refresh my braids. Especially for people who don't like to get all the braids wet, right? So I realize that some of you guys don't like to wash your hair all the time and get all your braids wet. So let's go through it together. So I feel like if you have a protective style, you have to get one of these bottles, right? So this is like a mist bottle. It's unlike all the other mist bottles because it has like, let me show you. It has like this wonderful like mist. Actually, I have plants here. I should mist my plants. They like it. So I think you need a mist bottle. And today I'm going to go over clear and cleanse. We're not going to use cleanse today because cleanse is a really, really high foaming product. And this is just for the girls who don't want to get like a lot of foam on their scalp or get their braids super wet. We're going to use Nourish. This is our leave-in conditioner. And then we'll use Restore. And then sometimes I'll use like Refresh too. All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing I would like to do is I used to have my mist bottle and I literally will mist through my scalp, right? So if I like to say that if you have braids, you should at least try to do this once a week, like at least once a week. I've had some patients in the office who will come in and say that they don't wash their hair while they have weaves, while they have braids, like at all, right? So they'll go through their entire 6 to 8 weeks without washing their hair because of fear that it's going to get fuzzy, right? They don't want to lose the style. I think that's crazy. I think everyone needs to at least wash their hair once a week. And this to me, even the spritzing and doing this like pseudo wash, it's like a bird bath. It's not my preference, but I realize that some people don't want to get like this part fuzzy on their hair. So let's go ahead and do that, right? So I'll do it really quickly. So I like to go through my braids and like really get up in there, right? The edges are important. My edges are like super weak, so I'm always struggling. I know. How do you cuddle at night, right? How do you cuddle at night? I don't know, girl. I don't know. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Maybe they're guys or girls are used to it. I don't know. And then some people won't work out either. Like if they know they won't wash their hair and it's a little stinky, they won't work out. I mean, so to some extent, I swear my braids today are like annoying me. To some extent, that also affects our health as Black women, right? So if we depend on we say we're not going to work out because we don't want to get our hair wet, or we don't want to wash it, we don't want to lose the style, you don't work out, you don't sweat. And then to some extent, that also affects inside. It's just so crazy to me. Exactly. When you go to the gym a lot and sweat a lot, I know it has to be your routine. So this is actually really good for those active girls too. Like, I get it. If you spend $300 on your braids or $280 or whatever, I get that you don't want to mess them up. I get it. But girl, is it like worth your health? No, it's not. All right. So after I do that, I like to use Clear. So Clear is our like #1 seller, guys. Like if you follow our page, and you guys should, at girlandhair.com, we sell out of this all the time. It is an apple cider vinegar rinse wash. It's low foam. So this is why I like to use it when I'm refreshing my braids and not the cleanse. The cleanse is a shampoo, but it's high foam. It's a high foam shampoo. So a little goes a long way. And I'll show you the difference between the two. So in this instance, I like to use Clear. Clear is the apple cider vinegar rinse. So with both of them, as you can see, it's like water. I'm gonna mess up my computer. All right, so it's like water, right? But this is Clear. It has like no foam, but it's really, really good at cleansing. So this, I think, would be a good option if you're not gonna wash your hair every single day. The cleanse is a little bit different, right? So cleanse, I think one of the biggest things that people love about cleanse, it's like watery. So I'm actually gonna put it in my palm so it doesn't like mess up my computer. You see, like it just travels down my hand. But if I do that, you see the foam, and I'll show you here. So I'll put a little dot, see how it's going down? That's cleanse. And look, there's like no water, but it foams up so easily. Literally, you only need 5 drops of this for your entire scalp, and you can wash your whole head. And that was one of the biggest things when I formulated cleanse, was that I kept on thinking, if I have braids, if I have sew and weave, what would be the best way to actually get the ingredients through the scalp? And I really opted for a low viscosity formula because I wanted the product to like flow through the braids. Okay. With Clear, right? So remember I told you guys that this is low foam. Sorry, this is low foam. And you can really get up in there and like scrub. And it's really good for the sides too, because you know how you have that like little fuzz ball around the braid, like gross fuzz ball that happens? You can definitely do that with like this. And you don't need a lot. You get in there, you scrub, scrub. And because we don't have much time, I won't go through everything, but I literally do that through my whole head. And sometimes, like when I'm in the bathroom, I will have like an old t-shirt, and you scrub in between the braids. That's what you'll do. You scrub in between the braids, and you get those areas. I promise you, if you do this once a week, you won't have like that buildup that people typically do when they have braids. And then you go back in with your water bottle, and you do like 3 or 4 times on your scalp. Again, I usually have a t-shirt, but I forgot. I'm not about to get up and get one. So, all right. So you do that. You do it 3 or 4 times. You rinse it, and I'll rinse it later. And so what people are typically worried about is this kind of like fuzziness in the braids. So what you can do if you have fuzziness in your braids, you can use a foam and like put a lot of foam on your braids and tie it down while you do your makeup to get that fuzziness to kind of lay flat. And of course, you always end up with some edge tamer. I love like Hicks, okay? So I go in, and you have to have like the baby hair situation going on, right? Like you just have to. I don't care how professional I am. I definitely still like swoop it up with the baby hairs. Let me tell you guys about this brush, this edge tamer brush. This is by Youssef. He's like the stylist for Rihanna. He created this line, the Y by Youssef. And I know it just looks like a toothbrush. I know it just looks like one. I know it does. But let me tell you, I mean, I think it's like one of the best, right? I don't know what this guy was thinking, but it's almost like the perfect density to get the baby hairs together. I know you guys think I'm crazy, but I promise you I'm not. Like, it just feels right, right? It just feels right. So, and then it has this little thing at the bottom. Like, who thinks of that? Only like stylists would think of something like that. I love this thing. So I do that and I go in, see? And then like hit the baby hairs up. Bam. You guys see that? Literally, that's, oh, this is a little too swoopy. You guys would not take me seriously as a doctor if I came in with this. If I came in the office with this, hold on, let me show you guys. If I came in the office with like this thing going on, would you guys take me seriously? No, right? Okay, let me put this back. No, you know in my heart, that is who I am inside. I'm a mess, guys. All right. So that's pretty much a 1-2. Let's say my hair is real dirty. Let me get it together. I have to clean this mess before I go out. All right. But in the meantime, let's talk about the entire product line so you guys are really knowledgeable. And if you want to pick something up, you can. Oh, someone wrote, I'm a doc. No, question me, girl. Sometimes, you know. So as I mentioned, like I would say like the anchor products that I created was the cleanse, the nourish, and the restore, right? So I created these 3 products first because I wanted something that was really easy. Like if you were to get only 3 products, if you were to take care of your hair in a protective style or your scalp with only 3 products, these are the 3 products you would use. I demonstrated the cleanse already. You guys know this is like an amazing product. One of the great things I like about this is that it has, I put tea tree oil in there. Now, tea tree oil sometimes can be controversial, but it's a wonderful, wonderful essential oil. And I did this because it's well documented to help with dandruff, right? Tea tree oil is a great antifungal, documented in the literature. And I wanted something that was evidence-based that would help with the itching and help with the scaling when you have a protective style. So if you have dandruff and you have box braids, it makes it even like 10 times worse, the fact that your scalp is basically, you're showing your scalp to everyone because then you have dandruff on top of that. So not only is it a low viscosity formula, not only will it clean your scalp and your hair shaft really well, it has really amazing ingredients and some science-backed ingredients inside of it to help take care of an itchy, flaky scalp, okay? One of the faves, everyone loves this. I mean, like, and honestly, to be honest, I think one of the biggest misconceptions about our brand is you only use it while you're wearing a protective style. And yes, I did formulate it with that in mind, but you can use our products in and out of protective styles. Like really, this is a scalp care line. So even when you're not wearing your braids, even when you're not wearing your weave or your wig, you can definitely like use the shampoo every week. I do. I still feel like no shampoo is better than my shampoo. A little partial, but I do feel that way. So after you use the cleanse, what you can do, because remember, wash day has to be quick. We are busy, ladies. We're busy bosses, right? So we gotta be, no one's trying to be in the shower all day or do all day wash days. We just don't do that. All right. So next is the nourish, and this nourish, honestly, you can use it by itself or when you have your braids. It's a creamy formula, and I mean, like when you guys like read the list of ingredients, it's crazy, right? So it's a creamy formula that you can use on your scalp. Also, don't ever forget the hair shaft, and it's a leave-in. And like that was one of the things that I think I struggled with was, should I make this a rinse out conditioner or should I just make it a leave-in? And I opted to make it a leave-in because it was all about being quick. Let me pause. Do you guys have any questions? You guys have any questions? Somewhere wrong. You're the same. All right, I don't see. All right, guys. So if you're with me, Give me, or let me see, if you guys like hydration, try to find the water emoji. I'm going to beat you guys. Watch. Hold on. Let me tell you, my team knows that like finding emojis, like, it's like the most terrible thing in the world. I'm going to beat you guys. I'm going to find this water emoji. Somebody should try to be, oh, there you go. Boop, boop. Oh, you found it. I don't know why I like playing this game. My friend Abigail's always like, whenever you get on live, it's like when you go to church and you're like, turn to your neighbor and say, hey, yes, that's totally me. I'm the definitely turn to your neighbor person. So I want to know if you guys are interacting. Okay, so Jessica wanted to know, are you able to use this product line if you don't have a protective style? Yes, absolutely. You don't need a protective style to use this product. I think like I formulated it with the idea of having a protective style, but you don't need to. You can use it in a protective style and out of a protective style. And you know what's funny? Like, I created the line with my kinky and curly hair girls in mind. And what was like the most amazing thing about the product line that I think as a founder to date is that I feel like when someone's not watching and when somebody's like not paying attention to like social media or whatever, for some reason, anyone picks up this line. So we've even discovered like a lot of our customers are not Black women, right? They're just women who want like an apple cider vinegar rinse product and they've fallen in love with the product. We have one hairstylist, Amber. She is a huge like extensions hairstylist and she does mostly like Caucasian hair, and she loves the apple cider vinegar rinse. And I think that's when you create good products, when you create quality products, it kind of like can go across like lines of like what you intended it for. You know, it's just really good ingredients and everyone loves it. And I think that has been the most fulfilling thing so far as a founder. So yeah, I can go on and on and on. So yeah, you use Nourish. So far we've gone over like cleanse and nourish. These are two: shampoo, leave-in conditioner. And the next thing that I love, and is also like a star, don't look at this little ugly, I feel like she has ugly clothes on, this applicator tip. Guys, COVID and the applicator tips, oh, it's been the bane of my existence, manufacturing and the applicator tips. But anyway, Restore has 9 amazing oils in it. I chose oils that once again are clinically like evident to help protect the hair shaft and help promote growth over time. So this is a thicker oil. It's not like a very thin oil. It's not an oil that like, I don't know, like a jojoba oil or almond oil, but it definitely is thicker because it has a castor oil base. That's the base, and I wanted it very thick because it's all about protection and coating. So that's why I created it that way. So, you know, like see, it comes out very, very thick. And some people like that and some people don't like that, but I feel like when you have a protective style in your hair, or when you have kinkier or curlier hair, you have to have some heavier, more emollient ingredients, because every time there's a curl or every time there's a kink in the hair shaft, that's a point where the hair can break. So the more you protect, the more you moisturize or hydrate and then seal, the better it is, right? So that's the Restore formula. And then I wanted to talk about Clear, which you guys know already is the apple cider vinegar rinse. I think it's a great formula to use if you're not into putting your whole head underneath, especially your braids underneath the shower sometimes, because people just don't want to do that. It's too heavy or they don't want to get their hair fuzzy. I definitely think that the Clear is a really great option. Is there a certain order? This is Londa writes, is there a certain order we follow when using these products? So there are 2 products in our product line that are daily use products. And I don't even know why I didn't pick up the Refresh. I thought I picked it up, but I think I took up two Nourish. The Restore, and there's one like a milky based hydrator. Those 2 products are the daily use products. And what I would do, especially if you have like coarser textured hair or curly hair, is I would use the milk first before I use the Restore. So my approach to hair care is pretty much the same approach to skincare, right? So you have, in skincare, you always think about retaining moisture and then using something very occlusive to kind of like trap in that moisture. I have the same approach to hair care because I think the hair shaft, we need to make sure it's well moisturized, and then we put a coat to kind of like occlude it or to seal, right? And these are great things because it helps the hair shaft not become so brittle. But after a while, like weekly, you still have to wash your hair. You have to wash your hair to get like all the gunk that you've done throughout the week. You still have to get it out. So that's kind of my approach. So whenever you think about daily moisture, you think about hydration and sealing. And on the weekends, what you would do is you would use cleanse first, right? So the way I formulated it is to use cleanse first. And this actually, the clear would be like a conditioning rinse. But what I found throughout the years is that some people are just using clear alone, and I formulated it with actually really gentle surfactants, so they can be used. It can be used alone. Like, you don't have to use these two things together. They work very, very well together, but you don't have to. You can use this and then follow with this, or you can just use this or this, right? So that's first. This is second, right? This is the leave-in conditioner. This is Nourish. And then you have Restore. Now, one star product that I did not mention is this, baby. Curl Cloud. This is like the newest member to our family. And the reason why I created Curl Cloud, because I really felt that there was a void between like a deep conditioner that you would use every day. And I also didn't want to leave the girls out who still had a hard time like thinking that this brand could be used in and out of protective styles. So our Curl Cloud hair mask is, I call it like my baby because like I really thought about how to create a hydrating hair mask without using silicones. And in my mind, what I thought about the most was the fact that getting longer hair, or achieving longer hair, that's a better word, achieving longer hair is about retention, right? So it's all about length retention. And the more you manipulate your hair, whether it's through combing or brushing or whatever, the more you manipulate your hair, especially if you have curly or kinky hair, the more you're prone to losing the ends of the hair, right? So the more you brush, the more you blow dry, comb, it doesn't matter, you will lose the ends of your hair. Because especially with curly and kinky hair, the more you do this thing, it's usually pretty curly, but the more you do this action, curl, stretch, this point, the point where it bends, it becomes super fragile, and that's where you get your split ends. That's where it becomes really weak, and that's where it's gonna break, right? So the more you do this, the more it breaks. So when I thought about Curl Cloud, I knew the importance of making sure you have a good moisturizer, like a hydrating moisturizer, deep conditioner every week. But I wanted to push it a little bit further. I wanted to have a conditioner that this action was less, right? Without the use of silicone, because honestly, silicone is not bad. It's just like it's a something that we use in the personal care industry to soften and give a little slip. The issue with silicone over time is that if you don't use something like a apple cider vinegar rinse or something to really get it off the hair shaft, it tends to coat it, and then your hair gets drier over time. But it's not bad. But I understand that some people just don't want to use it. So when I created Curl Cloud, it was like to minimize this action. You know what I mean? So Curl Cloud is like a silicone-free conditioner in which literally you can detangle your hair just with your fingers. You don't have to use, a large tooth comb. You don't have to use anything like that. You're gonna see that when I open it and make a mess, what I'm gonna do. It's not like crazy thick, right? When people think of like hair masks, my husband's gonna kill me because I just use this. He hates when I like just randomly open things and just use it because he's like, what are you doing? It's not like a random hair mask that is super, super thick, but that's on purpose, right? So everything about how the product feels, all of our products, it's really on purpose. It's not about how thick it is. It's about how much you can like rake your fingers through your hair without causing this motion here. That's what it's all about. So Curl Cloud is lovely at that. And it's like I think I took a year and a half to develop that product, and everyone hated me. Meaning my team, because I was never happy. I was like, no, this is not good. No, this is not good. I don't like it. No one's gonna love it. I don't like this one either. No, I don't like it. This is literally me for a year and a half. Never happy. Never happy. So annoyed with everyone. But finally, I settled on a formula that I really, really love. So that's pretty much Girl in Hair, Under Hair Care, and Curl Cloud. For those people who are just joining, my name is Camille. I'm the founder of Girl in Hair. I'm a dermatologist, so my patients know me as Dr. Howard in the office. I'm one of only 3% of Black dermatologists in the United States. I love that about my profession. I feel like it's incredible to be a voice in the natural hair or the Black hair care community, because there's so few of us and there's so much misinformation. So thank you for joining. I want to open up the floor to questions or just to like kick it, guys. It's Saturday. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Life's depressing as far as the news. What are y'all up to? Let me see. I'm going to go through some questions. Does the apple cider vinegar rinse make your hair squeaky clean? So no, it's not, in the sense that it's not clean, but that squeaky clean feeling is actually more of a psychological feeling. And I feel that when you have that kind of like squeaky clean feeling, it indicates to me that it's a little stripped, kind of like when you wash your face and you have that like taut, dry feeling on your face, but it's like, it is squeaky, but to me, that means that some of the emollients are gone, and that's never a good thing for skin care, scalp care, or hair care. Okay. So someone says they need a whole line. Yes, you do, girl. You have to try it. You're going to love it. Okay. Oh, thank you, guys. You know what? Someone wrote like such an inspiration. Thank you so much. Honestly, there is nothing special in the sense of my story. I feel that my husband and I were really hard workers. And I honestly feel like when I created this line, I came from like a really pure place. I came from a place of trying to solve a problem that I saw that we were being overlooked on the shelves of a lot of major retailers. And it's just the glory of God that I was able to create this product line, and people still receive this product line like as like an innovative product line years later. That really is it. And as a matter of fact, when you first like start a business, and this is for anybody out there who's like starting a business, who's feeling like, I'm not sure if anyone's going to like this, who's going to listen to me, who am I? Because that's really where it comes from, this place of like, who am I? Like, who am I to be successful? Or who am I to think of something big? That's bullshit. Let me let you guys know that right now. Literally, don't think about the end, but think about like step by step by step. And you're going to have so many naysayers along the way, right? So many people who are just not going to get it. They're not going to understand, especially if you're breaking new ground. They're just not going to understand. And what I found is that those voices of like nervousness or anxiety, you're always going to have that, but that should never deter you from your dream. You know what I mean? And like, I remember like in the beginning, we were like, oh my God, no one's going to get it. No one's going to understand this. Absolutely not. I feel like the first time I really realized that this was actually a thing was when I started seeing like bigger brands all of a sudden like paying attention to protective style. And so the first response is always like nervousness. You know what I mean? Like, and you're like, oh my God, they're like taking our idea and they have more marketing dollars and they have more this and they have more that. But then you realize like, whoa, what I thought was actually a thing. Like I can name at least 5 other bigger brands who took the concept that I had in my little mind, my little head, and was like, okay, yeah, that's a cool concept. So I think the more that happened, the more it actually empowered me and just gave me a little bit more fuel. And let me tell you guys about like the Black beauty business in general. Black beauty founders would not be where they are without all of you, right? Because you guys literally are leading the way. The customers who are the most engaged, the customers who is like, F this, I'm gonna like buy from this brand, I'm gonna buy from this store because she understands me or he understands me. And you guys are the ones who are leading the way. The more you speak up about the brands, the more you share the brands on your social media platforms, the more you go to these stores and buy these products. This is what we're talking about. We would be nowhere because of all of you guys. Real talk. And it doesn't matter. So I am always the first person to be the most accessible when it comes to founders. Like, so what, I'm a doctor. So what, I'm a dermatologist. It doesn't matter. You know, I always call myself that like little dry foot girl from Jamaica. Like that, the humility part always has to be there. And I'm always accessible to our customers because I understand that Girl Hair will not be where it is without all of you. So even the fact that you're here on a Saturday talking to me, thank you. I love you guys for it. I do. I really, really do, guys. So let's go through some questions. Have you ever been copied content product? How do you deal with it? Yeah, you copy all the time. There's a purple brand right now with a protective style kit that looks just like ours. I'm a silly Willy. I'm a silly, guys. But yeah, you get copied all the time. And like I said, it's like, you know, at first you get very nervous about it, but then you realize that you are the innovator. Like a lot of these small brands, they are the innovators, and they need, like bigger brands just need like a whole team to like come up with something. And once you realize that, it doesn't matter. Like you just do what you want to do. The biggest issue I think for small beauty brands is just capital. That's all. Like finding the money. It's hard because Amazon got y'all all messed up. Like Amazon has every consumer or customer thinking that like as soon as they place the order, that order is going to be out the next day. Like we got a whole shipload of people in the back just like taking up stuff and sending it to you guys. No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't have that kind of like capital to like get it to you. So I do like think that you guys need to extend some grace, as long as the customer service is good, to some of the Black businesses. All right. No shade, no tea though. Yes, no shade, no tea. Do you have anything to help stimulate growth along your edges? Okay, guys. So I'm going to put like my doctor hat on. And in the office, I've been seeing a lot, and I talked about this on my page. Like, I've been seeing a lot of young Black women come in with like, and I'm going to answer your question, come in with like the statement of like, I'm tender-headed, right? Like, oh, I don't know, my hair just doesn't grow right here, but I think I'm tender-headed. I've always been tender-headed in this section or this section. So like, I think that whole like tender-headed thing, not that it's made up, but that it could be heralding other more important things. And I think I say that because I see a lot of Black women in the office with hair loss, right? Hair loss along the perimeter of their hair and hair loss right here in the crown. And I think when you're young and you feel tender-headed or your scalp is itchy and it doesn't matter what you do, you bought every single natural hair care product and you still feel those things, stop what you're doing and go and see a doctor. That being said, like if you are like your edges are not growing or you think, I don't know, you're just not happy with it, I do feel that there are certain things that you can do. You might not want to hear it, girl. But one thing is like, for instance, braided styles. Like I know good and well that I have very, very weak edges and I probably should not be wearing box braids. So the minute like I get them and if I feel that my edge is like too tight, I literally take them out. So I have a bunch of like little bits of something at the side where I literally just take out the braids because I can't. So one thing is really like modifying the way you do your hair, and you may not like it. You may not like the fact that, you know, you can't wear box braids or you can't wear knotless braids or you can't wear a wig or whatever, but it's really to save your scalp and save the hair follicles there. Another thing that you can do is kind of like assess your life, right? So hairstyles aren't the only thing that cause hair loss. You can lose your hair for so many things. Like you can lose your hair if you had COVID. 3 or 4 months ago, and now you have something called telogen effluvium. You can lose your hair if you're thyroid, if you have low thyroid, like hypothyroidism, that can cause you to lose your hair. There are so many other things that medically that can cause you to lose your hair or have inflammation in your scalp. So really it's kind of like taking an assessment of your life and like just see like, oh my god, could something be wrong? And seeing a doctor, going to your primary care doctor, getting that checkup to make sure that there's nothing else wrong, because there's so many other things like anemia can cause you to lose your hair. Certain vitamin deficiencies can cause you to lose your hair. So it may not necessarily be like something like a hairstyle. It could just be something inside that, you're losing your hair. So I want us to all be super aware of that. Now, I think that there is this misconception in the natural hair community with the word growth, right? Like if you just slap growth on a bottle, everyone's gonna like snatch it up. It's true. And it's actually something within our company that I actually get yelled at the most. It's like, why don't we just put growth on it? And I was like, that's not ethical, because honestly, if you're breathing, your hair is growing. Like if you're breathing, your hair is growing. There is no magic in a bottle that's gonna make your hair grow faster than anyone else's hair. That is complete nonsense. And it's a complete marketing ploy to get you to pick up something because it's preying on like your shortcomings as far as what you feel inside. Okay, hair growth is broken up into 3 phases: anagen, catagen, and telogen. And if you've been following our brand for a long time, you know that I always say live your best anagen. So anagen is the active phase of hair growth. It is the phase in which 70 to 80% of your hair is in at all times, right? Anagen, the anagen phase. So 70% of the hair on your head is actively growing right now and is in anagen. The other percentage is in catagen or telogen. So it's resting and getting ready to fall out. 10 to 15%, usually, okay? Usually getting ready to fall out or resting. So if your hair is an active anagen and your hair is growing, anagen can take 5 years. If you have those long, the Polynesian girls with the really, really long hair and everyone wants their hair, they have a longer anagen phase. So maybe their anagen phase, is 10 years, 20 years. So literally 80% of the hair on their head is growing for 10 years. Whereas with me, maybe my anagen phase is 6 years. So 80% of the hair on my head is growing in anagen for 6 years. So my hair probably is going to be a little shorter than their hair. Now, how do I maximize my anagen? How do I make sure that my anagen phase is great and I don't lose any hair in that anagen phase? That's where we come to protecting the ends, and it becomes less about growth and more about length retention. So if my hair is an anagen for 7 years, I need to make sure that I am not losing the ends of my hair during that 7 years. So therefore, I'm able to retain the length over time. That's what this is all about. This is not about like, oh, let me put this stuff on my hair and it's just gonna grow. No, y'all, it's bull mess. Please don't fall for that. Please don't fall for that, okay? So now that I went on my tangent about anagen, you guys know you all need to make sure that you're protecting the ends of your hair, okay? Yeah. All right, guys, I love going through the comments. And someone wrote, I thank you for being honest with your brand. Thank you, guys, because I do get a lot of flack for it. I promise you, I get a lot of flack for it. Why didn't I come out with a vitamin product? Why don't I have a Miracle Grow product? Why don't you see me with my white coat on my page, selling my hair care product? I have a personal thing about that. I don't like to be on my page with my white coat because I feel that I'm a physician and it took a lot for me to get that white coat. And I also feel that I need to separate it, right? Like when you come into the office to see me and you see me in a white coat, it should mean something else to you when I'm in the office with my white coat. So you really won't see me really in social media, being with my white coat. It's a personal thing that I have. I feel like when you see me in the office, my head is really into you as a person and your pathology or lack of pathology. I'm really into that. But just know that the white coat is actually, you know, behind the closed doors, actually thinking about what we put into these products and how these products will affect your life. You know what I mean? All right, guys. I love lives because I feel like I can talk to you guys forever. But I have my big board exam coming up in October, and my husband and my child, they are away. They went to the beach. I like kicked them out today because I have to study. As always, you can follow me at Derm Beauty Doc. Let me put that in. At Derm Beauty Doc. Oh, thank you. Or you can follow our page at Girl in Hair. I mean, you guys, I'm so happy I'm here, not for only Girl in Hair, but just to like, you know, Joseph and I were talking about like stores like Beauty Bees and what these women are doing for the beauty hair care industry. Like, you guys definitely please support, you know, buy. You know, I hate to say it, but you guys, in order for you to support, we need your financial support too. So always, you know, put their posts on your notifications. When you can afford something, get something, you know, because the more we support stores that are for us, brands that are for us, the better it is for us. You know what I mean? All right, guys. So it was lovely chatting with all of you on this lovely Saturday. Be safe, be well, say hi to me on the other pages, and I'll see you guys later. All right? Bye, guys.